so-called House of Commons. Only a couple of states promise in their state constitutions to have reapportionment, to have a census. Pennsylvania does. It's a Democratic state, very ahead of the game. It hasn't done it yet, but it's promised that. So is New York. And here, too, the Constitution copies some of the most democratic features, the best features of the state constitutions. They pick Pennsylvania as the model. Here, just as they picked Pennsylvania as a model for low property qualification, no property qualifications for payment of lawmakers, just as they picked Massachusetts as a model for putting the Constitution to a vote. So on many of these issues, the Congress, the Constitution is copying best state practices. Now, you might not like the Senate. You might say, well, the Senate is malapportioned. You know, big states and small states count equally. Even so, I'd want you to remember 2 or 3 things about the Senate. First, even if it's malapportioned, it's no worse than the Articles of Confederation, which also had the one state, one vote idea. So it's not any sort of step back. And second, there's not a systematic skew, either at the founding or today, a big systematic skew in the Senate. You have small states from the north and small states from the south. You have small states in the east and the west. It's not perfectly apportioned, but there's not a systematic skew. In England, the industrial centers were systematically underrepresented. In America, the big states are kind of north and south and east and west, and so are the small states. And maybe it doesn't perfectly balance out, but it's not terrible. It's no worse than the Articles of Confederation. And it's not based on property. In many of the states, the upper house was kind of connected to the propertied folks. In Parliament, the upper house, the House of Lords, is about the rich people. And the Senate, at least formally, isn't about that at all. It's not trying to protect rich people as such. But there is one feature of Article 1 that is about protecting, in effect, property as such. It's the most vicious feature of Article 1. It will lead to, ultimately, a civil war. It's the representation of slavery in the House of Representatives. More populous states get more seats in the House of Representatives, but how do we count population? Yes, we have a census. But in that census, slaves count. Yes, they count for 3/5, so they count for less than a free person. But still, the more slaves a state has, the more slaves it steals from Africa, kidnaps